Good morning, everyone. It's Lisa Cernka. Welcome to the Insider Power Hour. Today's group visit is going to be a topic that I think will interest a lot of you because it's been in the news a lot lately. So let's go ahead and get to it. So first of all, let's do some housekeeping work, right? We have to do this every time we get together. September 1st, I'm your host, Lisa Cernka. So welcome to the group visit, which provides an additional opportunity for you to connect with me and my team or experts on a weekly basis to learn and add information to help you on your health journey. This educational presentation can be myself or a guest lecture. The first 30 minutes will be recorded and placed in the Solutions Library. The format can be either a lecture style or a lab review, question and answer, or even a lecture series. The closed group discussion will not be recorded, and it is a guided discussion, and it's an opportunity for you to interact with the community, get support, ask questions. What are the rules of the group visits? Please be curious and open-minded because everyone is at a different stage of their health journey. We are all students in learning. No one has all the answers. Sometimes emotions are brought to the surface, so we welcome and embrace those. But please don't think in terms of black and white, but in shades of gray. One last thing, everything that you say will be heard. Others will disclose their private medical information or social information. If that's the case, please respect their privacy and keep all information confidential. Be attentive and curious, respect others' journey, uphold diversity and practice non-judgment, show encouragement. Change happens on a different timeline, and be open to learning new things. So the topic for today is antioxidants, in particular, vitamin C. So one of the things that we are going to be talking about is the benefits of vitamin C, the benefits of the phytonutrient spectrum. And we have talked about eating the rainbow in the past. And we're going to bring up one of the worksheets that you may have seen in an earlier lecture because we're going to talk about it again in a different angle, which is so great about the human body is that it uses food as medicine, food is the fuel, and many different elements of our nutritional factors of our food do multiple things, right? So vitamin C has been in the news a lot lately because of its support for reducing inflammation and supporting the immune system. So it is dose specific. I believe the therapeutic dose, let me just see, the therapeutic dose of vitamin C. Oh, I'm sorry. The maintenance dose of vitamin C is 75 milligrams per day. A therapeutic dose could be up to 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams per day. But vitamin C is very short-lived in the human body, so only a couple of hours. So repeated dosing or repeated intake of vitamin C rich foods may be required in order to maintain the therapeutic effect of vitamin C. It depends on what we are using vitamin C for. And that is where you and I come in working with a naturopathic or a clinical nutritionist to help really kind of move that dial of inflammatory markers so that vitamin C can do exactly what it should do, which is prevent oxidative damage or cell membrane damage, right? So that is what an antioxidant is. And let's just go to this resource that I love, and everybody will get a copy of this link. And let me move this up here just a little bit. And so this is from the Harvard Health Publishing. It's a great resource. It is not a naturopathic resource. It is rooted in allopathic medicine, but it is a proven, reliable resource. So if you need to get some real concrete scientific information regarding something that you're looking up or you're curious about, a topic that you were curious about, this is one of the trusted websites that I do like because it does give you very clear information. So an antioxidant, so some minerals and vitamins like vitamin C and E, these two guys work together quite a lot, including minerals like copper, zinc, and selenium. And if you are somebody who suffers from any thyroid imbalance, you know that zinc and selenium are really critical in optimization of thyroid. You also know that zinc, from everything that's been going on in the world, is critical in immune response. Copper is also very critical. And if you have a good, well-rounded multivitamin, oftentimes copper can be replaced and maintained quite nicely. If you find that you are copper deficient, you really should be monitored by a clinician who understands the replacement of copper. So antioxidant is a general term, and it counteracts the unstable molecules called free radicals that damage DNA, cell membranes, and other parts of the cell. So it goes into what antioxidants actually do and how do they neutralize free radicals. And we're going to talk about where free radicals come from here in a little bit. But, you know, think of if you're a Star Trek fan, you know that there are these kind of protection shields that the spaceship puts up, and there's all these attacks, missiles being shot at them. And think of that protective barrier, because we have a lot of protective barriers in our body, from our mucous membranes to our secretory IgA in our gut to detoxification. So we have a lot of ways to protect our body. And on the cellular level, I mean, this is the microscopic cellular level, antioxidants are one of those things. So where do we get free radicals? Well, environmental, toxins, smoke, air pollution, natural byproducts of normal processing, like in your immune system, when your immune system is under attack, it says right here that oxygen spins off and a free radical destroys virus, bacteria, and damages body cell in an oxidative burst. So even though we have something that's trying to protect us, sometimes it can get out of control, and we need to have a check and a balance, right? We need to have a brake pedal. And then normal production of free radicals happen in exercise. Could you imagine if you had a high inflammatory marker, that if you had high DNA, oxidative or cell membrane damage already, and you were trying to push yourself into weight loss and you were over exercising and not having enough antioxidants to counteract those free radicals, would be really important, right? So that's why it's important to understand antioxidants, to include antioxidants or the rainbow, right, in your food sources. So when you look at your plate, you want colors, right? And this is, we've seen this PDF before, and I also have a checklist for shopping, right? So if you have family members who are really pushing back on including color on their plate, you might want to hand out that particular checklist and say, hey, pick 2 red things, pick 2 yellow things, and just put them on the list for grocery shopping. And then they've had an input into what they would like to eat. I would find it hard that you wouldn't be able to find something on this list that everybody would like. Now, the question is how much of this do I have to eat, right? We just talked about vitamin C and antioxidants in having those dosed sporadically throughout the day. Well, our main source of vitamin C is obviously food. And I think that our body is set up to understand that and allow for the intake of vitamin C throughout the day. So that's why we say at each and every meal, make sure you have a colorful plate so that you have the benefits of the phytonutrient spectrum foods. it can get a little complicated because people are like, well, I eat organic. Is it going to be expensive? Could be. However, you want to, if you're looking at a budget, you want to consider organic foods, the dirty dozen. You also want to consider um, the foods that you eat most frequently. Um, and if they're on that dirty dozen list, in other words, they have a high level of toxins in their growth, like apples, right? Then you want to steer towards organics for those. I understand that sometimes we have to make a tough choice when we're shopping for the family. Food prices are going up. Organic foods are expensive. And we have to kind of pick and choose where we get that. And that's a conversation that we could have with Abby, the clinical nutritionist, and we can ask her to speak on the subject and do a class on that as well, which I think would be really exciting. So here is some indication is how much of these servings you should eat per day, right? Vary your choices, be creative, include these in recipes. It's not that you can't, you have to eat Brussels sprouts raw, or broccoli raw or green beans. If you include them in recipes and casseroles that families might like, you might not get the full cup, but you're at least getting those elements in your food several times throughout the day. So I think that's really important to understand that. Let's see. Oh, so I did want to talk about alpha lipoic acid. How many of you are on alpha lipoic acid or some form of combined alpha lipoic acid already, right? So, and glutathione, we talk about glutathione. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, or sulfur-rich vegetables are precursors to glutathione. So that's why we really come back to plants, right? And we look at phytonutrients and phytochemicals to improve our body's ability to work and fight these free radicals, this free radical damage. But I'm going to read you something because I thought this was really interesting, and I want to read it to you because I don't want to misquote it. So lipoic acid, now alpha lipoic acid is just a form of lipoic acid, is another vital cofactor in mitochondrial health, aiding in the conversion of food into useful energy, reacting with the reactive oxygen species and protecting the membranes by reacting with vitamin C and glutathione to recycle vitamin E. Whoa. Wow. I mean, this is one of the antioxidants that I often put people on for a variety of reasons to help with blood sugar stabilization, plus a couple of other things that it does, but an antioxidant property. You have vitamin C, you have a multivitamin with a good vitamin E, or maybe you're even on an extra vitamin E. You have alpha lipoic acid. You have a tremendous amount of antioxidants working on a variety of levels to do a variety of things. So it's important to understand how all of these things layer together. There is no one specific reason. You can take vitamin C for immune support, reducing inflammation, but you're also taking it to reverse or reduce that free radical damage that's happening, and we're being assaulted every single day, right? So it's important to understand that having a well-rounded diet is really important. And food is medicine, right? So it's important to understand that as well. Some of the recipes, I do have a phytonutrient cookbook. So we can offer that to anybody who wants that. You can reach out to me with an email if you're watching this and you haven't gotten it, or you're new to the membership here at Solutions Functional Medicine. I'm, slowly changing the name because we are putting the pieces together for better health, and putting all these puzzle pieces together gives us a solution so that we can provide and help you reach your health goals, right? So I know that this was kind of a short topic today. It is a big topic. Let me just see. I wanted to talk about one other thing. Oh, yeah. Some of the other antioxidants that we can talk about as the weeks come up are CoQ10. We can really do a deep dive into lipoic acid. And then we also want to look at L-carnitine. L-carnitine is great for helping to convert, for beta oxidation. In other words, converting fatty acids into energy. So when we're looking at optimizing our food sources for energy production, and sometimes one of the welcome byproducts of that is weight loss. So we'll talk about that. And then phosphatidylethylmelamine. I don't necessarily supplement that in particular. However, it does work a lot with energy, and a lot of the energy production supplements or programs that I might put people on already have a healthy dose of this in their supplements. So it's important to understand that when we're looking at antioxidants, we also have to look at mitochondrial health and the cellular membrane health of the mitochondria, because that's very, very critical. We can get into CoQ10 because that is a really interesting subject as well. And I have a lot of resources for people who are interested in that. I thank you all for listening. We're going to go into the group, closed group session now. And I know this is pretty quick topic. It is a big topic, and we just kind of skirted the surface. But I will ask Abby, our clinical nutritionist, to maybe do a little deeper dive into vitamin C and antioxidants from a nutritional perspective. So I'm not talking about someone who has measurable DNA damage. I'm talking about the maintenance of it. How do you incorporate these things into your family's diet or into your diet, especially if you're a very, very busy person, you don't like to cook? So what are some quick ways that you can keep your vitamin C or antioxidant levels very high throughout the day, and you can get the health benefits of that? So I thank you all for listening. I'll see you in the closed group. My wish for you is good health.